All right. You want to start us off, Laven? You want to, bring in the anime world news report? Are you going to do one of your famed, this week on the Anibros, we bring back the P. Rizzler as he tells us more about the anime. Let's join. Oh, and it's episode whatever it is.
90? Is this one 90 or 89?
And of course, you're, subscribe to us on RSS and Twitter S at the Tumblr, and then, Anibros.com.
Perfect. That's our next promo.
I guess we don't need to, we're done. We've done it. We've done all we can do here.
All right, lads. Are you ready for the first anime?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And can I just say, there's going to be a theme tonight.
Oh.
So I just want to see if you're able to tell what the theme is.
Okay, it's a little mystery story.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm listening. I'm ready.
Anime number 1. Anime de Wakuru Shinyu Ankia. You got any guesses as to what that is?
As to what the anime is, based on the title of the anime.
It's a Comical Psychosomatic Medicine. Huh?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, imagine some producer flipped open a medical textbook and he said, Chapter 20, let's make an anime about that. And then he hands it off to someone who really loves anime, but is deeply against making an anime about medical disorders to teach youngins. And that's how this monstrosity was made, basically. First episode, erectile dysfunction. If you've ever sat at your desk thinking, I wish I could learn about this in anime form, then you are in luck. If, however, you haven't thought that, then this is the worst possible way you could learn about erectile dysfunction. They're just trying to tell you things, but throwing in weird slapstick bits and just kind of vaguely hinting at sexual things, but then not. And I'm just like, do people in Japan learn this way? Is this, how things are passed on from father to son, as they just are like, look, I'll just draw you an anime, you read it, and you'll understand how to do calculus, okay, son?
Yeah, that's your theory from last episode as well.
And guess what? Show. It's coming true. Have either of you heard about this one or seen it?
Yeah, I watched a couple episodes of it, I think.
Oh, was it stimulating?
Yeah, I watched, what was it? The first episode was erectile dysfunction. Then did you watch the second episode?
Oh my, no.
Okay.
No.
The second one was basically lolicon or pedophilia or something. Whatever they call it in Japan.
Medical disorder?
Yes, apparently.
Okay, keep going.
They showed both sides of the issue.
Sometimes in court trials, they don't show both sides of the issue. They're like, this is clearly wrong. And why isn't there someone over on the other side saying, maybe it's not so bad, Love knows no age. Am I right or am I right?
That's basically what this anime is trying to do.
Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't watch the second episode then, because that's messed up. All right, anime number 2. It's actually one old Jacko recommended. What was it called again?
Oh, gee. Which one? Is it Vampire Holmes?
Yes, Vampire Holmes.
First guess.
I said, okay, that looks good. I was going to watch the first episode of Milky Holmes, but unfortunately, Milky Holmes, HD or something or another, their 4th season had recently come out, and that was the only thing the Google machines would give me. So I just did Vampire Holmes. All right. So we come in, and there's essentially Watson, and he's walking down a hallway, and he's talking about, oh, I work for the greatest, well, actually, he's a pretty terrible detective in the world, and he uses science. And no, he doesn't. He just goes off a gut reaction. And he opens it up, and, the guy's like, oh, I'm just laying on the floor. He's like, hey, we gotta solve some crimes. And so they're looking for this woman. She's lost her dog. And they find the dog, but then the dog runs away. End of first episode. The whole episode was about 2 minutes long. And about a minute of that was the intro and exit song. And I'm like, I understand animes have outrageously long intros and exits. But when you're only 2 minutes long, you need to cut that back a bit, You can't go, full bore on it. And I went to watch the second episode, and I don't know, it, wasn't out or something. So that was...
So I gave up.
Yeah, basically. I'm guessing either they're a vampire or they meet a vampire at some point.
It's not important.
Maybe the dog was a vampire. I don't know. I didn't get far enough into the episode.
Well, you got far enough into the episode.
So, Jack, who was the vampire? I'm assuming you watched this.
I watched that episode.
That was it, right?
Yeah.
I described it to a T. I didn't skip over any important plot points.
The quality of the animation was bad.
It definitely lived up to its description of being based on a smartphone game.
Oh yeah.
Laven, you ever hear of old Vampire Holmes? Or...
I have not heard of this.
Well, you gonna watch it or?
Well, no.
It's not a big commitment.
No, that's true.
Yeah, it's only 2 minutes long.
That's too long.
Well, they do have a pretty good intro and exit.
It's true. I could probably just I might be able to find those clipped out of the episodes. So I don't have to waste my time.
No, you'll still waste your time, just not quite as much. Yeah, so I guess the moral of the story is, I don't know anything about that show. So hopefully someone listening at home will listen and be educated about it. So yeah. Next episode, anime. Sorry, Kekkaki Sensen. Kenkai Sensen. Blood Blockade Battlefront. You ever hear of that one?
I've heard of it, and I want to watch it, but I haven't had the opportunity to see it yet.
Oh, this is perfect. This is your opportunity right now.
Yeah.
This is you've been eyeing this one, have you?
Just, I looked at the picture and read the description and saw the studio.
Well, are you ready to be blown away by a frame-by-frame description of the first episode?
I think I am.
Okay. Imagine yourself, and there's this boy, all right? And he has special powers. He can, see things, all right?
What kind of things?
And he, you'll find out.
Okay. All right.
Fast things. I just told you, but you'll find out he can see fast things. And, anywho, he's just moved to New York City from wherever he was from. And the first scene opens up with the Freedom Tower being destroyed and this tentacle monster coming out and such. And I was like, that's a bold move. What with people associating the Twin Towers being destroyed, and then you were like, you know what, let's just destroy the Freedom Tower in New York. But bold move. Anywho, so New York City, it's been surrounded in a mist or something, and a lot of aliens have moved in and are now living with the humans there. And so the boy, he's at this diner, and, the old, I'm sitting here, and can I just get another cup of coffee? And they're like, hey, you got to pay for your stuff. And he's like, I don't have any money. But they give him...
bit.
And they give him a burger, and, don't worry, you can wash some dishes later. And he's like, thank you. But then a supersonic monkey comes in and steals his camera.
Oh, his camera. Not his burger, though, right?
So he pops up, is like, oh, no, my camera, and runs out. and the humans couldn't see it. But the aliens, they could see it, but it's a real fast monkey. But he's got his special powers. He can see fast things. So he's chasing down the alien, and this other alien, his arm turns into an RPG launcher, and he shoots a rocket out, and it blows up, and the boy, he's like, oh, and they fall over, and he and the monkey, they got their eyes kind of like rolling around because they just, experienced an RPG blast. And
first trauma will make your eyes kind of wander like that.
And this guy, he's comes up to him and is like, hey, I know you. You should come back to meet our secret group. And so they go back, but then it turns out he wasn't the guy thought he was, and he's at the secret group meeting. And it turns out that kid was a journalist who came to New York City in search of the secret group, and they're watching TV. And this bad guy gets on the TV, and he's like, hey, you need to find the gate before the demon does. And then it turns out, twist, the sonic monkey was the gate the whole time.
It was the gate.
And it slices half of the tower that they're in off, and it starts running away. And then police helicopters show up. But then the boy, he runs after the supersonic monkey. Are you following me so far?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay.
Go, keep going.
All right, so they're all chasing after it. But then another gate opens, and this demon comes out of it, and they're fighting the demon, and the boy's like, why don't we just shoot the monkey? And then he goes up to the monkey, but he's like able to see there's, how should I say, like a hamster in it. And so he doesn't kill it. And then the guy from the TV, you remember that guy.
The bad guy.
He gets really angry. He's like, oh, I wanted him to shoot the monkey because then the demon would have, if bad things would have happened. But he doesn't. He just pets the supersonic monkey.
With the hamster inside of it.
Then he goes back to the diner, and they're like, hey, here's your hamburger. I forgot to mention the main character, his sister's disabled. So that was the first episode.
Hold on. How do you find out that his sister's disabled?
At the end, when people remembers.
What happened? He had a flashback to 6 months earlier where his parents are there. And then a monster comes, but time freezes.
Okay.
And it's making a deal, and he's too scared to do it. And she says okay, and then he gets his special eyes.
Oh, nice.
Well, that can see fast things.
Fast things.
It can also see the hamster thing in the monkey.
Well, that's because they're traveling fast, obviously.
This doesn't sound like an anime. It sounds like you took too much acid or something.
And then I woke up. And I was like, oh, I guess that wasn't an anime. It was one of the craziest things. I mean, it was the ravings of a madman, truly. I don't know what I was seeing or why. It was just the whole time I'm like, I guess that makes sense in context. Sometimes a guy just got to rob a place, and then... Oh, I forgot to mention the guy who shot the RPG because he's robbing a place. He turned out to be a gate and opened up, and bad stuff came out of him too.
Some bad stuff.
I almost forgot that bit. It really ties the whole episode together.
Yeah, the third gate.
So, what did you read about the anime? What brought you to it?
Well, I read that it's an anime original. I don't believe it's based on anything, like a manga. I could be wrong.
No, it's definitely not based on anything. It's not based on a plot.
Logic.
It's not based on a script. It's just, it's there. I'll give them that. But it's not based on anything. No.
Well, what did you think of it then? Is it unfavorable overall?
Oh my! I don't know what happened. The entire time, I was just sitting there did I jump in on the second season? Did someone do some weird edit? This just doesn't, I don't, and then I balled up and started crying and rocking myself to sleep. as I do after most anime. Next anime. Go, Princess Pedicure.
Okay, go, Princess Pedicure.
I'll try the Japanese version. Go, and there's a line over the O. Insu Puri Kuya. I think that's that.
Which in English is known as Princess Pedicure.
Oh shoot, no, it's Precure? That's something else. Anywho, we open up and the main character is like, she's a girl, like a flashback. And she's crying.
She is herself a flashback?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what you mean when you say there's a girl, she is a flashback.
No, the scene is a flashback.
The scene is a flashback. All right.
Yeah.
Continue on.
So she's a young girl, and she's crying because some boys, they said something horrible. They told her she couldn't be a princess, and she was like, but I want to be a princess. Okay, so she's in a field, and some other boy appears and tells her not to give up on her dreams, and that she can achieve anything, and he gives her a little figurine. Okay.
Oh, what was the figurine of?
Like a little princess.
Oh, like you here. Go on.
So now we're in the present day, and she's driving to this boarding school for her first day of high school, and her parents are like, all right, we're going to drop you off. And so she's there. She meets her roommate who's showing her around, and they're outside, and the main character gets kind of nervous because she's saying weird stuff. And so she's like, oh, I see a raccoon over there. And she runs away into the forest. And I was like, okay, that's a line. And in the forest, she meets two fairies. One of them looks kind of like a puppy, and the other is a bird that's holding a large box. And they're trying to talk to her, but then the bad guy, he shows up, and he, I don't know how to say it. He calls upon this, like, painting book monster. Imagine, okay, there's a book, and it's got some arms and legs, and it's got a paintbrush, okay? And it locks her friend up in a bird cage, okay? And then it's coming after her. So the box the bird was carrying, it falls over, and the box, it turns out to be perfume. All right, and then the figurine, it turns out that it's actually a key. And then there's this, like, long moment where it goes to the bad guy, and then it goes back to her with her key and the perfume, and she's like, I don't understand, what should I do? And then it goes to the bird, and it's like, but just open the perfume. And then they just, like, keep doing this for 5 minutes, and then finally she puts the key in the perfume and opens it, and you won't guess what happens. She turns into a princess.
Oh.
Like a magic fighty princess. And she's able to fight the bad guy, and she frees her friends. And yeah, it's pretty wild.
that does sound wild.
In the next episode, it turns out the student body president, I think she's the second of the 3 princesses at the school. And I don't think her roommate will be a princess. I think she'll just kind of be, those shows where like a high school kid has to deal with high school, but also has to, secretly be like a superhero and such. And their best friend doesn't, it's like, hey, where were you last night? This superhero was out. And they're like, oh, I guess I missed it again. And then they look at the camera, and you look at it, you're like, yo, you did, you went there because you remember. You know what I'm talking about?
I think I got a pretty good picture.
Yeah, I guess I didn't understand what the painting book monster was.
Wait, you said you watched 2 episodes of this? How do you know what happens next episode?
Well, at the end they tell you. They just are like, hey, in the next episode, here's the entire plot. They do that at the end of every anime.
They do.
Is they just like, they show scenes from the next show, and then one of the characters rambles about nothing. In every single anime this happens. I have no idea why. They just...
Was it nothing, people, or is it the plot of the next episode?
No, they just truly are yammering about nothing. You got to ignore what they're saying and just watch the scenes from the next episode and be like, oh, well, obviously this is the entire plot of the next episode. If I were to take a wild guess, I'd say the student body president, who, can I just say, she's beautiful, she's smart, and she's a student body president. Everyone likes her. She probably is going to be a little hostile to the main character at first, but then I bet you at the end, they're going to team up and beat the bad character.
Do you think she might already be a real princess herself? Like a magic princess? Or did you say that she was?
Yeah. I bet that the other girl already knows that she's a magic princess.
Do you think she might be the enemy, though? What about that?
No, I don't think she's the enemy. No, they're going to team up.
What if they become enemies later?
Well, no, they wouldn't do that because they're princesses.
It's Precure. There has to be more.
Oh.
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
Okay. I guess that's a good show.
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense, especially when at the beginning she's crying and then she's immediately in a field. Oh, I forgot the boy that gave her the figurine. I think he turns out to be a prince in the next episode. They also mentioned that, maybe.
Is he a frog currently? You didn't mention that, so I thought I'd ask.
You never know. You never know.
Well, the only thing we can give this show is that we're the opposite of the target audience. It's supposed to be for little girls.
Well, I wouldn't say that. It's a show. How do you know it's for little girls? How about that?
This Precure thing is like a series. It's for little girls. You watched one before. It was the one about where they got the golden tickets.
Yeah, but that was a different show.
Yeah, it's pretty Cure. It's like, I don't know, like the Japanese show that little girls watch. That's the little girl cartoon that they all watch.
No, I don't watch little girl cartoons. And that was a wholly different show.
It might have been the third one we've watched.
Listen, Patrick doesn't watch little girl cartoons.
I haven't watched any of them. You've watched more of them than I have.
Look, not a single pony showed up, all right? That's how you know it's a little girl show, all right?
All right.
Moving on. Seiken Tsukai no World Break. Or the English version of that is World Break Aura of Curse for a Holy Swordsman. Yeah? Either of you hear that one before?
Yeah, this was last season or the season before, right?
Yeah, some of these I watched them a while ago and my memory's a little hazy, but don't worry. I vaguely remember them.
It looks pretty bad.
I haven't watched this one, but I remember a lot of people talking about it.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's good to hear.
I'm excited to hear
what it really has everything
about it.
When you look at the genre list, it covers a lot.
All right. Okay, they start off in 3 months from now, the middle of a battle, and then they're going to come back to his first day of school. So that's why the first part won't make much sense. But so this dragon, it comes out of this portal up in the sky.
Oh God, more dragons and portals.
Boy, he's waiting down on the earth, and he's like, I remember now. And this girl, she's in chains of fire, and this other girl, she's like got an ice dragon, and they're using magic, and people are like in this dragon fight, and then it says 6 months earlier, and it's the first day of school. So they're at future magic school, and the opening ceremonies are going, and the main character, he's a feller, and he falls asleep. So he wakes up, and this tsundere character is just up in his face claiming to be his sister. And he's like, what? That's crazy. Although I don't remember much of the past because of my amnesia. Dun, dun, dun. Just then, Boobs McGee walks up and kisses him without I don't know why. And then you just keep rolling. And so they're all in the changing rooms, getting into their uniforms to go out and fight. And I gotta say, those ladies, kind of some tight uniforms, if you know what I'm saying. Kind of Neon Justice Evangelion tight, all right?
Like a wetsuit, basically.
Yeah, so they go out into the Coliseum, and they're going to learn to fight. And
the school Coliseum.
Yeah. And the tsundere character, is going crazy, and some like second year student, he's doing something, and anyway, she loses to him. And then later at a restaurant, the Sunjae character and the boy are sitting there, and she's kind of sad, and Boobs and McKee comes up, and she takes the boy and kind of like rubbing his face in her bosom, and then the Sunjae character gets angry and takes him and rubs his face in her bosom, and I was like, what? How does this fit into the plot? Like,
Oh, it is the plot.
How doesn't it?
yeah, how did the fight fit into the plot? Maybe, yeah. I must have been coming at the show from the whole wrong angle. The whole time I'm like, why are they muddying it up with all this weird bosom rubbings? But
little did Patrick know, it was one of them bosom shows that he's always talking about.
Yeah. Anywho, it turns out the boy, the main character, he challenges the other boy to a match.
What kind of match?
And, like a fighting match.
Oh, just boxing?
Well, to like a magic fighting
Oh,
match.
like a magic tournament.
Well, in the Coliseum, they're fighting.
Like an illicit match.
Anywho, it turns out the main character, he is the one who has the dragon.
Okay.
He's got it.
Yep. That's
pretty cool.
That's
that show.
The end?
The end.
Oh.
Yeah. He probably wins the fight, I'm guessing. You got a dragon.
Then you watch the next episode preview?
Well, do we assume nobody else has a dragon? Is having a dragon good?
I just kind of turned it off at that point. I'm like, oh, okay. I see what kind of show this is.
Yeah.
And, went on with my life.
It reminds me of that other show with all the boobs and dragons and portals you talked to us about one time.
Oh, yeah.
When we watched it at the convention?
I don't know who watched it, but I remember hearing about it on this podcast before.
It reminds me of that show. Yeah, Patrick and I were watching in some viewing room. There was like a...
It reminds us of a lot of anime.
A Boobs McGee, and she was... There was like a horde of people fighting, and she was in charge of all of them.
No, that's a wholly different show. There weren't any dragons in that one.
Are you sure? There was some magic and fighting.
There was magic and fighting, but no dragons.
Maybe there weren't any dragons. It's very possible there were no dragons. But
these
there were
anime,
bosoms, and there were fighting, and there was magic. So
they all remind me, when I was a kid, I never watched an entire episode of Scooby-Doo. But I would just watch like the first third of one episode, the second third of another episode, and the last third of another episode. And it always made complete and total sense.
Yeah.
Because every episode was basically exactly the same. And it's kind of the same way with all these animes. These things, I just get the feeling they're like, everyone already kind of knows the plot. Let's just get the guy to fight and, get some girl to rub his face in her breasts. And give the people what they want.
Yeah.
And they certainly don't want a plot. So
this season, they want blondes.
So either of you watch this one?
I have not.
No? All right.
Well, I meant to watch it, but I just didn't want to.
You want to move along? We got a long train of awfulness.
I forgot about the theme. Any guesses on the theme, Laven?
I haven't been thinking about the theme at all.
I thought about it for the first two, and then I kind of lost it after that. So,
well, can you name us the shows again in order of what we've seen?
Real quick.
All right. Up first was the kind of crazy medical textbook show. Then we had detective guy who finds a dog, and the dog may or may not be a vampire.
Okay.
Then we got Blockade Battlefront. We got a fight in New York City with aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Go! Princess Precure. And turns out she was a princess. She had to fight the magical book. And then World Break, Aura of Curse for the Holy Swordsman.
Now, they sound like all shows that Patrick would hate. Is that the theme?
Well, it's true, but it wasn't the theme. I'll give you one more episode, one more anime to guess it, and then I'll tell you what.
Oh, is there only one more?
Well, one more in this theme.
Oh,
at least.
okay, yeah, let's hear it.
This is a unit in the lesson that we need to go through first before we can advance.
Yoru no Yatterman, or Yatterman Night.
Oh, Yatterman.
You know this one?
Well, it's popular.
Yeah? Okay.
I've never seen it, but it is a popular thing.
All right. Imagine some children are playing. Suddenly, missiles, artillery start to descend. A woman cries. 2 men and the woman cry at her husband's grave. She is sad and pregnant. Skip forward. A baby grows and becomes a little girl with an annoyingly high-pitched voice who I want to punch in the face.
Right in the face. Directly in the face.
The girl is walking around under the house, and she comes across this, like, altar to these 3 superhero types, and the mom is like, oh, these are our ancestors. And you look up, and you're like, oh, there's a girl, or a woman and 2 fellers, and, you know, the mom and 2 fellers. Anywho, the mom, she gets sick, but the neighboring country won't let them in to get her medicine. And so I think the daughter and the 2 henchmen, maybe like, they try to get into the other country, but there are 2 people there like, no, stop. And they shoot at them, and then they got to go back, and their mom dies. And then the girl and the 2 henchmen dress up like superheroes, and they become the new Yatterman Night.
All right.
Seems legit.
It was the craziest. It was nothing.
Did anything happen? Was that the intro, or?
What do you mean, I just explained to you several things.
Oh, okay.
Weren't you sad when the mom died?
I had 1 tear.
Weren't you kind of surprised when it turns out that the girl and the 2 henchmen both dressed up?
I only jumped a little bit out of my chair.
Like they were all superheroes? I mean, wasn't that something?
Why would it be something? Is it something they're not?
Well, because the picture from the basement of their ancestors who were also superheroes.
Okay.
You know, nostalgia. It's pretty wild.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
So have you figured out the theme of the anime so far?
No, I don't know.
They all didn't make a lick of sense.
Okay, well, I was trying hard to think of things that Patrick would use as his theme. Like, they all had a dumb boobs McGee. Like, they all had boobs.
They were all stupid.
They all had a sister at some point. I didn't like that too much.
Well, what can you do?
Wasn't enough medical information.
I hated chapter 20. Wish they would have picked chapter 1 so I could have learned a thing or 2.
Yeah, they were all pretty disappointing. And I just kind of wonder, the people who created it, do they ever just like hang their heads in shame every day they go home?
Every day.
And just like, I just made the world a little worse, didn't I?
That's why they all go to the bar and drink themselves to sleep after work.
You remember when we were in high school? Before we started making this crap? Those were the days, weren't they?
Back when we watched shows about people in high school in the exact club where we made up this thing.
Those were the days. Pass me a little more sake, Shiru. And then... Yeah. So, on to the next one. Isuca. That's all you got. I don't think it's got any English to it. It's just Isuca. All right. So, schoolboy, he's walking down the sidewalk at night, as we all have. And you know what's about to happen, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the woman, she appears and she starts taking her clothes off.
Right, yep.
And then suddenly the boy, he's like, I can't move. And it turns out the woman, she was actually a centipede monster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And she's about to, but then this magic schoolgirl comes up. And, she's got her little bow and arrow and she saves them. Then, so schoolboy, he walks home. And, he comes to school the next day. The chemistry teacher is his homeroom teacher, and she's kind of easy on the eyes, if you know what I'm saying. Anywho, so this dog monster's been going around killing people at school. And it's like changing around, and he goes up and he sees this girl, and she has an arrow like in her shirt, and she's up against a tree, and she's like, "Oh, help me, I can't get it." And he helps her, and then she turns into a cat monster and runs away. And then the girl from earlier with the arrow, she's like, "Oh, you let her get away," and they're running after her. But then it turns out she wasn't the one going around killing people. It was actually the dog monster. And the dog monster turned into a girl, but he thought it was a girl, but it turned out to be a dog monster. And so they're fighting, and the main girl, her clothes just keep getting ripped off little by little. And she just doesn't have any energy. And apparently that boy, he just, I don't know, had to kiss her, and she just got her juices flowing, and she was able to seal away that monster.
And guess what? She was a dog monster.
Yeah. I mean, not the arrow girl, but the dog monster was a dog monster.
I think they were all dog monsters secretly.
Well, the cat monster was just a cat girl.
Well, in spirit, she was really a dog monster.
Or the centipede monster. That's not even a mammal.
No.
Well, that's because it was just dressed up as a dog monster.
Well, no, it wasn't. But yeah. So, what'd you think of Isuca?
I've never heard of that until now.
Does it wet your willy? Does it strike your fancy? Does it get the old Long John Silver off of the plank and onto the sailboat, heading for the new world?
Yes.
All of those things, yeah.
All right. Well, you can tell me how episode 2 is. I know I'm never going to find out on my own, what with it being a horrible show.
I wish that one of these times, just in the middle of this nice rendition of these shows that Patrick has volunteered to give us, he gets to a point, and then he just says, and then they start taking their clothes off, and I realized it was a hentai, so I turned it off.
And I was like, well, I mean, I'll give it 5 more minutes just in case.
Yeah, it sounded like this show was really kind of on the edge of that. I mean, they had some kind of supernatural action going, but is a lot of clothes being removed.
Yeah, well, it probably won't happen ever again.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it happens when you go to the park. I mean, we all know that, right?
Yeah, I mean...
Aside from that.
Well, okay, but, I mean, what's the chances that a monster will show up again? I mean, there aren't that many of them, right?
That was the far-fetched part. I agree.
Yeah, probably won't be any more for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
On to the next one. Yuri Kuma Arashi, which translates to Lily Bearstorm Love Bullet.
Is that a haiku?
No.
Oh. Well, I don't know how to count, but go on.
So there's the Earth, and this meteor shower comes and starts hitting the Earth, and then all the bears start to eat all the humans, And so
I don't even care what the bears do. I meant all the bears.
So the humans build this bear barrier.
A barrier. Get it?
I'll explain it to you later. And but these 2 bears, they transform themselves into girls, and then they go across the barrier, and they're attending an all-girls school.
Why wouldn't they?
And because they want to eat girls, and because they're bears.
Well, everyone kind of...
You can't trust bears.
Those meteor showers, they can just change things on a dime. Anywho, 2 of the girls, they meet up for a secret love rendezvous out by, like, an outhouse or something. And all the flowers in front of it have been cut down. And this 3rd girl just shows up and is like, hey, let's meet up tomorrow and we'll fix the flower bed or something. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. But then the next day when they show up, that girl is missing, and they're worried she's been eaten by a bear. So then the girl, I'm going to just guess she's the main character. She gets this call and they're like, hey, come to the roof or we're going to eat your friend. And so she comes up to the roof and they're the two girls that are bears, but they look like girls. And so she's brought this gun, but the bears are like, don't bring the gun. All right. So anywho, they're at a trial now, and there are these like three bear judges, and they're wanting to eat her and such. And
wait, they're in bear court?
They're in bear country.
Anywho, so the main character, she's like naked, and this flower starts to come out of her stomach, and then the bear girls start licking it in a really sexually suggestive way. And then I realized it was a hentai. No.
I was going to say that.
No. But it was kind of
hot.
Kind of suggestive in a weird...
Kind of steamy?
It was weird. Anywho, so she wakes up in the infirmary. And as you know, all Japanese schools have one. And then she's walking around the outhouse. And she sees the two bear girls, and they're eating some girl, and she's dying. So what did you think of Yuri Kuma Arashi?
Now, when you say these girls are eating each other, do you mean like...
Yeah, I mean literally like flesh is eating.
Okay. So there's...
Although it's all very kawaii. So, it's like kind of like happy little bears, but then they are literally killing people and eating them.
And
except when she was at the trial and they were licking her the nectar from her flower.
How did she go to bear trial? How did she get there? How did she get out? Wouldn't they eat her?
Well, okay. Well, as you remember, she was up on the roof because they called her for some reason and told her to go there because you're going to eat her friend. And she had a gun, but they told her to put the gun down. And then she was in bear court, as I mentioned. And then she was in the infirmary.
Okay. Seems like it might be very symbolic.
How so?
Well, it doesn't make sense in reality, so it must symbolize something that makes sense.
Well, what do you think it symbolizes?
I don't know.
Maybe like you got to work hard to replant flowers because you don't want people tearing up the flowers.
Save Mother Earth. Mother Earth and nature needs to be preserved, otherwise bears will eat you and destroy your flowers and put you in contempt of court.
It's more about an advertisement for space exploration, and if we don't stop those meteors from coming, guess what could happen? The bears could come. That's not what we want, is it?
So what do you think, lads? You this catch your eye, huh?
Kind of.
I'm kind of curious about what the heck's going on.
Yeah. You got a little bear fetish there, Laven?
Well, I won't call it a fetish.
Maybe a curiosity. I don't know what we're saying.
Well, it's probably more than a curiosity at this point. But let's just move on from that topic to something else.
All right, on to our last anime of the night, Zanzuku no Musume Ronja.
Oh yeah, his Spanish version.
Rona, the robber's daughter. That's the name of this one.
Was Suhu in it?
No, I don't believe Shiru was in it.
I believe there's some foul play in that show as well.
Anywho, it's all computer generated graphics, and I don't know about you, but it always comes off as cheap and really creepy sometimes, and that would describe this pretty accurately.
Oh. Now, isn't this the anime that's directed by Miyazaki and Ghibli?
I certainly hope not.
Okay.
Oh my word, that guy must have gotten addicted to something and just needed a quick buck if this is directed by him. Holy cow. I sincerely hope not. That would That would be bad.
Okay.
Wow, like in a tragedy? Like a devastation to your family?
Oh yeah. See, like one of the few people who can make anime tolerable made this. I'd be like, well, I guess it's time to give up on the genre. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Anywho, so it's kind of back in like Renaissance times. And this noble and his whole entourage are traveling through the woods. And this band of thieves shows up. But then a rival band of thieves show up and they start kind of, fighting each other. But then the noble gets away. And then, so that was something that wasted a lot of time. So anywho, it turns out the main robber, his wife hasn't given birth yet. And they live in this like kind of rundown castle. And the wife complains to the main robber and he's like, yeah, the harpies are making too much noise. And so he goes out there and he's trying to silence them, but they don't want to be silenced. And so the baby gets born and they're all celebrating. Even the old codger who is just there for some reason. They're all just happy. But they're a little too happy because now when the forest thieves go out and they're about to attack someone, he always looks at this watch and he's like, just let him through. I want to go back and see my daughter. And they all run back and like, yeah, how we doing? It's a lot of guys and only one woman. And it's normal. And so the daughter, she's growing up to be a little tyke. And, they're like, hey, you got to let her go. And he's like, all right, I want you to go into the forest. And be careful. Be back by dawn, all right? And she's like, all right. But she goes out there and, who knows when she'll be back.
I want to take a guess. She won't be back?
By dawn or after dawn?
Just ever.
Oh. Well, that's a little morbid. I mean, the dad seems to like her. This is my guess. She goes out and she finds a little feller, like a young guy, and they become friends.
Oh, well, you have a guess? Like, does episode 1 not show what happens?
No.
Oh.
I was the whole time wondering, like, where is this going? Why?
It's going to the woods where the party is.
Why are we spending so much time eating and singing? And not robbing people, because I thought that was your thing. Are those harpies going to show up again, or you just kind of put them there for a minute? Oh, okay, I guess you just forgot about them. All right, that's cool. You going to fix that break in the castle, or is that just... Okay, that scene, I guess, didn't lead anywhere. Okay, that's good. That's... you got to be positive when you're watching anime. You don't want to be too critical. So yeah, what'd you think? The Robber's Daughter. You gonna watch it?
Yeah, that is the one by Ghibli and Goro Miyazaki. I looked it up.
Oh, Miyazaki made this?
Not Hayao Miyazaki. His son Goro directed it.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh my word,
Lord Jesus, for this a miracle today.
I tell you, I don't know. That son, was he like 12 when he directed it? I mean, for a 12-year-old, it's pretty good. For like an adult, I don't know. Maybe have plot lines going places, and that would be my advice to him.
Pro tip number 1.
Kind of like have a reason, kind of jot something down on a piece of paper and say like, that's the reason we're doing this. Let's try not to lose sight of that. I don't know, in English class, we were always told to do that. And I mean, we're always like, screw you, I'm going to just write the thing and see how it turns out. And, maybe he just never grew beyond that. So what do you two think? You gonna watch this one? Huh? You gonna find out when that daughter comes back?
I don't think she's coming back, Patrick.
What about you, Jack? You raring to see the second episode?
I'm gonna give this one a pass.
Miyazaki made it though.
Well, myself was never a fan of Miyazaki.
Oh, that's because you were a bad person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would attribute it to that, yes.
Well, I've got a surprise for you, lads.
Oh.
One more anime.
Yes.
I didn't, that's like the encore. I'm so excited. We didn't even have to cheer.
And I'll admit that all of them have been pretty bad so far. So it's not saying much when I say this is the best anime of the night.
I'm ready.
It's a little anime called shoot, what was its name?
Just take a stab at what you remember it might be.
It's called Avatar Korra, the Legend of the Last Airbender Fighter Girl. And as you both know, Avatar the Last Airbender was quite possibly the best anime of all time. Now, obviously it wasn't, because you've got your Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood taking number 1 spot. You got Death Note taking your number 2 spot. And then you got Aang and that little wind bison taking spot number 3. Okay? But this show is probably 10th on the list. It's, it's got some problems. It's got some real glaring problems, actually. But it's a lot better than most anime. I'll also give you that. So, now you both remember the what happened at the end of Avatar The Last Airbender pretty well, right?
Right.
Okay, well, it turns out that, as you know, the wind was the last one to have the avatar, so now it's water, and Korra is the new avatar. And she's this annoying person who the whole time you just kind of wish was Aang, and you just wish that she would just go away, and then Aang, without any reason, without any explanation whatsoever, would just show up and say hey everybody, what do you want to see me go on some adventures? And then they just keep following him, but that never happens, so it's a little sad. So it's 4th season wrapped up. So that was a disappointment, but it was a lot better than all the other anime, so that was good. But it was a disappointment, and it broke my heart.
I think the reason why it could probably rise above those other anime is because I don't think it's an anime.
Well, it is, so I'm glad I was able to correct you on your incorrect assumption.
All right.
So it is an anime, and as I said, Avatar The Last Airbender was also an anime. In fact, it was the 3rd best anime of all time, so I'm glad I was able to correct you on that and explain what a good anime is.
Okay.
So there you go. Korra, not that great, but it's watchable. It's there. Avatar Last Airbender is definitely better.
Now, when did they meet the big blue people?
I don't remember that episode. Could you describe it to me a little more? Or blue people?
No, I've never seen any of it. I just want to know when they come.
Well, I don't think there are any blue people.
Oh.
False advertising.
I thought it was about Avatar.
Well, yeah, it is. Avatar The Last Airbender, yeah.
Well, how about this? When did they go to India and meet the Avatar?
Well, they aren't on Earth.
Oh.
I don't know what their world's called, but they're there.
Well, everything I know about avatars doesn't seem to be fitting up with my visual cues of the show.
Oh.
I guess I don't know what's going on.
Well, the best way to find out what's going on? To watch it.
I don't think I have Nickelodeon.
Well, that was a low blow. And you could just, get it the old-fashioned way. Steal it.
The oldest fashioned way.
That is the oldest way to get something, you gotta admit.
That's right. Stealing was here before currency was.
Stealing was here before Avatar Last Airbender, and it'll be here long after him, too. I'll tell you what. So what about you two? You lads been hitting the old midnight oil and...
Just hitting it. Just smacking it.
Watching the old 5 and dimes dance across the silver screen,
That's exactly what I've been doing.
All right, describe to me, regale me, Jean Valjean, of the first episode of an anime you've seen recently.
Oh, you want that?
Yeah.
Okay. The first episode of an anime I've seen... Gee, I'm on the spot.
Yeah, you are.
I saw the disappearance of Nagato Yuki
Oh, dear. Does she get found?
Well, she doesn't disappear. That's just the title of the show. It's a little bit misleading.
Well, it's a lot misleading.
You remember that Haruhi show? It's kind of popular a while ago.
Oh, yeah, it was a great show.
It's a spin-off of that, but now the quiet girl, the purple-haired one with glasses, is the main character. The art is a lot worse, and nothing supernatural happens.
But she's like a alien time traveler.
She's not... No.
No.
She's just a shy girl.
Well, are the other characters there?
In face.
The guy is there,
And name.
and the blue-haired, long-haired
Uh-huh.
girl who was in one episode is there.
Is this a knockoff by any chance? Is this like not a legit thing and they just kind of did their own little 50 Shades of Grey type spin-off thing? Or what's going on here?
It's officially licensed. It's not by the same guy who wrote Haruhi originally, but it is a knockoff per se.
Okay. Well, does she, I don't know, get braver and kind of grow as a character as the show progresses?
As the show progresses, you learn that she likes cake, turkey.
Now, all girls like cake and turkey. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I don't remember in Haruhi she being particularly excited about any of the food.
She didn't need to eat.
She seemed kind of analytical, kind of beep, boop, beep. I am alive. We need to program. What? Yes, food is for nourishment. Wasn't that her?
That was, yeah.
And now she likes food.
Oh, yeah.
She loves it.
Okay.
She would die without it.
And she's trying to go out with the main guy, Kyon. That's her main goal, I think.
Well, she's going to have to get by Haruhi. Am I right? Am I right?
Well, they go to different schools now.
Yeah, Haruhi is not in the first episode.
Oh. Well, she's in the second episode, though.
She is in the second episode.
Okay.
Yes.
They bump into each other at the park, and then they don't see each other.
Oh.
Well, that's not all the way true. They do see each other.
Okay.
They bump into each other.
Well, she's got to go through that Boobs McGee character before she gets to the main character. Am I right or am I right?
Yes, you are right.
She's peripherally there. She's kind of around. I think she has a couple of lines.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is starting to sound disappointing. Why did they do this, I guess?
That is a big question. I don't know that either. Why do they do this?
Did someone pick up a dojin and like, you know what? I like this. You strip out all the supernatural stuff. You strip out like the important, cool dialogue. And, you've got yourself a grade A anime right there.
Yep. I think we've cracked the code.
You just gotta, don't aim too high. Just kind of go for mediocrity and hope that someone will buy your little keychains at the end of the day.
Yep.
Just hit the middle of the urinal when you're aiming. Just right there, center, dead on. No fancy tricks. Don't try to move the little, pad of absorbency.
Keep going, Laven. What do you do at the urinal? What do you move?
Let's move on.
So, Laven, why don't you give us the first episode of an anime you've seen recently?
When Jack was trying to think of something while he was on the spot,
Yeah.
I was like, if you ask me, I'm going to say Haruhi. But he took it.
Oh, you saw that Haruhi show too?
You're going to have to pick something else.
Tuba is number 2.
What's Tuba? What happens in the first episode of that?
Well, there's a big tuba monster named Tuba-kun.
Yeah?
And he's just blowing noise all over the town.
I bet there's some noise ordinance about that. I bet the main sheriff, he's like, oh, that guy, he's always making noise, and the neighbors probably getting mad. But then at the end, they all show up to the school because he's thrown an impromptu concert, and everyone's like, well, maybe we got to live a little. Maybe we've been too hard on these kids. And this tuba monster thing. Is that what happens, or?
That's basically exactly what happens. I don't
Really?
know. Did you see this?
No, I didn't actually. I'm surprised.
It's dead on.
I'm really surprised that's what happened.
It's almost unbelievable.
It is almost unbelievable.
Oh, what do you know? One of these days I'll have to just get into the kind of anime psychic and you just tell me a little bit about the anime. I'm like, oh, it's coming to me. The great spirits. They're in a high school. I see a room, a club room. There's cake and mindless banter. And they're like, oh my, how does he do it? How does he do it? And I'm just like, it's a gift.
I think that should be a panel. Everyone lines up,
Anime psych.
and they try to stump Swami Patrick and his anime tendencies.
Well, hit me again. Either of you lads, I don't know, you heard of an anime you haven't seen? Maybe just like, give me the briefest plot you can. Let me see if I can predict what'll happen.
Okay.
Look something up. You can even go online and look something up if you want. I'll give you a minute.
Let's see. Have you heard of Techiu?
Oh Jesus!
No. All right, give me just a taste of what happens. What's it about?
It's about the tennis club in high school.
Oh, you ever heard of that anime? What was it, like Tennis Ace or Tennis? It was some Prince of Tennis, yeah. Basically that, but at a different school is what I'm guessing. Now, you called it, I'm sorry, what was the name of it?
Techiu.
Okay, so he's going to the University of Tech, Japan. And
University of Tech.
Now, it's either going to be he doesn't realize he's a good tennis player, and then he slowly discovers he's got the gift. Or perhaps he already is a great tennis player and he goes out there and he's got to fight his way. Or the best solution of all, and the one I'm rooting for, he has a dark past that involves a tennis-related death. And at the end of the first episode, the bad guys are about to, kill everybody. But then he shows up and he's like, I challenge you to a tennis-off. And he goes out there and he just serves and he volleys and he sets and he points and he saves the day. And then everyone's like, yeah, Tech you rules. Go Wolves. How close was I?
Sorry, I think you need some more training. That was pretty far off.
What?
This show,
yeah.
It's about 4 girls and they don't ever play tennis. It's just random jokes for like 2 minutes each episode.
Well, are they in the tennis club at least?
They are in the tennis club.
Okay. So it's kind of like K-On, except instead of being in a band, they're in the tennis club?
Yeah. See, your problem was you tried to make too much sense. All of your plot lines were, drawn from logic and kind of build on top of each other. You got to remember this is anime.
Yeah.
That's out the window.
You know what we should do is we should make ourselves an anime. Okay. Pick an activity. Just anything at all.
Carpet cleaning.
Okay. The carpet cleaning club. They find themselves a magic carpet. And they've got to figure out how it works. But first, they got to have a little tea and a little cake to nourish them.
Yep.
5 seasons later, they just completely forgot about the carpet. But they make some good zingers. You know what a character driven show is? It's like when they make a joke, it's funny if you already know the characters and kind of like, oh, she's the scared one, and she's always messing with her, and so she is like, woo, and they're like, she's scared. Then the other one, she's got the serious one. It's like, don't be, kids, we got to solve this magic carpet thing, and there you go. You got yourselves a pile of money.
How did the Magic Carpet Club get its advisor?
I don't know. You just have no reason whatsoever. Attractive woman advisor just kind of shows up one episode's like, hey, and then just leaves.
But she just signs the papers like, I'll be the advisor, but I'm going home.
Yeah, sure, why not?
She doesn't care about the magic carpet at all?
Well, she doesn't know, obviously. They got to keep it a secret. I mean,
well, how are they the club? I guess they're carpet cleaning.
No, yeah, they're the carpet cleaning club to learn about the ancient Japanese art of carpet cleaning.
Okay.
Hiroshi Saroshi was the first carpet cleaner and passed on the magic art through the generations. And these girls grew up hoping to someday get into the big carpet cleaning competitions, the ones they always see on TV and all the most beautiful girls are in, and maybe even go to nationals someday and go up against the reigning carpet cleaning champ, Katoi, and see if they can out carpet her.
They can't. Spoiler alert. They lose at nationals once before season 2, so they have to come back with a vengeance.
I would love it. It's just like, we don't even pay attention to the carpet cleaning championships like the entire time. And then at the very end, just no reason whatsoever, they just show up and they win.
Yeah, I was going to say, once again, you guys are focusing too much on, like, a story and progression.
Yeah. Well, here's the trick. Okay. They don't realize, like, the judges, the carpet they're cleaning is actually a magic carpet that, like, is a funny kind of joker, but it can get into all the shapes really quickly, and that's how they keep winning the competitions.
Ah, there you go.
But then at the end, the other magic carpets are like, hey, you got to come back to our home world, and it's like, no, the big match is coming up, and then at the last second he shows back up and they clean away and everyone's happy.
There you go, getting better.
I like that. It's a good show. I'd watch that show.
What would the little promo picture be, and what would the little blurb be for Magica Copperetu?
I'm imagining a
The
carpet
picture
cleaner.
would just be 4 girls in dresses.
that would just be it. Yeah, just 4 girls looking happy as could be.
Yeah.
And what would the little blurb down below be? 4 girls, as they enter the carpet cleaning competition, must learn about friendship and hard work through their straight-talking magic carpet friend.
Yes.
They're straight talking magic carpet friend. And they're a very charismatic advisor.
And as they also teach you calculus.
Studio Dean.
Well, lads, I think we ran out of things to talk about half an hour ago. Jack, do you think you're going to be able to cut this episode up and sell it for parts?
Well, I think I'll be able to convince some people to pirate it, to steal it. I hope they know the noble art of stealing, and I'd be honored if they stole this episode.
Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised too. I mean, like, wow, I didn't think we made something good enough to steal. I mean, that's pretty wild right there, I tell you what. So how do you lads want to sign off this episode? I want to say, like, keep it real, rapping rug, and then he comes up and like, we got flying, I got, obviously you would like auto-tune some like rapping carpet over the top that would teach you about friendship and calculus, and then...
And also keeping carpets clean in general.
Maybe, if at all possible, I mean, I understand if it's too much to ask at this point. Could you sing a song or maybe rap a rap about, I was going to say carpets, but anything.
Oh, come on, Jack. I mean, hey, Patrick, I know you don't rap whatsoever, but what do you say giving me a rap about carpets?
Is it too much to ask at this venture?
I like to imagine that with no pretext. I know that you just don't rap, but if you could just rap about a magic carpet for me real quick.
At this point in time, is it at all possible to just have a tune?
Let me go wiki carpets.
You gotta get some material.
I gotta get some inspiration.
Maybe wiki carpets, then go get beat up on the bus or something, and sit there and brood and write some lyrics and be like, all right, I got my carpet, I got my street cred, I'm good.
Okay, all right. Let me see what I got here.
Go to jail and back. Start a turf war.
Start a rug business.
Start an astro turf war. I guess that's not really a carpet. It's more of
it's more of an artificial grass, if anything.
All right, Laven, why don't you lay me a beat? I'm gonna see what I can.
I was wondering. I could.
Get
I hope
out of
it's.
This. All right.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This one goes out to my Holmes. Carpet Lover 23. You got it. Keep it real. I'm talking about carpets. We got them woven. We got a needle fat and knotting up over 20 an inch. That's what I'm talking about. Nylon, frostlawn, wool and polyester, all in the mix. We got an anime coming straight up to you about how to keep them clean, about how to get friendship and learn a little calculus. E to the MC to the squared, yo. Peace out. Word to your mother. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have put that in the anime, in the podcast.
Nope, that's my ringtone.
I'm sitting crisscross applesauce on the school carpet. I'm strolling, rolling on this movie's red carpet. And now you're tragic with panic at the next carpet competition while I'm schooling your ass with the aid of this magic carpet. We here at the Carpet Club don't take no scrubs. We're here to win, and with this magic carpet helping us out, we'll have this grin while you're selling out.